a different scheme, which is certainly generally applicable for statements of this kind, and which is implemented in the snowball 4 language, which is when the collection gets control, we have a very good idea of what the code's like. I mean, we've compiled the code ourselves. If we don't know what it's like, no one else does.
Now I want to go on to the consideration of how we're going to multiply two matrices together. And in order to motivate this, let's think about a transformation of coordinates from an xy coordinate system to an x prime y prime system. Then let's follow this by a second transformation of coordinates, taking us from the x prime y prime system to a double prime coordinate system. Now, for your own convenience, as far as thinking about this is concerned, if you want to have something that you can hang this on.
Yeah, but it's much clearer here.
You can only see it in little areas like this, buggy down there.
Yeah, well, that's so subtle that it has no meaning, whereas here you have a positive image which reverses itself and becomes a negative image. And it's marvelous seeing, you know, the reversal from negative to positive. And also you begin to lose, you know, your figure and ground relationships there, where it disappears and comes out, you know, like the edge of the Rembrandt portraits.
An emulsion of oil in water is pumped into this unit, which consists of a fibrous mat. The oil coalesces on the fibers.
Milton is faced with a very difficult artistic problem of somehow making the fall of Adam and Eve convincing. And one way of doing it is in this, as he does in this passage, is having Eve placed in this position where she admires herself like Narcissus in the stream, so that this will be exactly the weakness in her that Satan will exploit in Book 9.
If they drop their prices for some reason,
Okay.
you can buy for less.
Okay, I see what you mean. Anybody ever heard of a prompt payment discount? What's the essence of prompt payment? Remember we talked about the fact that there is a cost of...
Really, we're interested in figuring out how individual behavior is influenced by other people. When you stop and think about it, that really covers a wide variety of behavior. For example, we might want to look at the matter of occupational choice. That's a very personal kind of decision that every individual has to make.
Here we are introducing dye into the flow to show how the honeycomb, which is located downstream here, can eliminate the eddies that are present in the flow. The flow approaches the honeycomb in an eddying fashion and leaves it in a smooth and orderly manner.
Our objective is to determine the number of living organisms that can exist in a polluted water sample. To do this, we take a sample of the polluted water, filter it through a fine-poured filter.
This is a device that models the interactions in materials. You see these little magnets are tied together, and now when we expand the array, we can see the variation of the forces between these magnets, which models the interactions in real materials. You can see the variations in the patterns as we expand the spacing.
This is the way the description of Earth sounds. There was also a prioressa. That of her smelling was full simple and coy.
It exemplifies quite well, I believe, the idea behind what we're trying to do when we speak of here in our educational program of a structural architecture. I think it shows in this photograph of the building that the very expression of the building, the architecture, if you please, is in no way contradictory to the structural means that makes the building possible.
The noble gases represent an important family of elements, which include helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, and the radioactive radon. 10 years ago, it would have been inconceivable that I could hold in my hand crystals of xenon difluoride, a solid substance obtained by treating two gases, xenon and fluorine, in the presence of ultraviolet light or by heating.
I think that these pictures all show what can be done. So I think that we better take our material and get improved resolution and improved contrast on the pictures.
Okay.
In the jet engine, if we don't have a prop, then the amount of work which the turbine does exactly equals the amount of work that we need for the compression. This means that if we were really to look at the efficiency of the Brayton cycle for a jet engine, we would find out that the efficiency is 0. But we still have a very good aircraft, even though we do have a 0 thermodynamic efficiency.
This is John, and we're on radio station WIIT, 640 on your AM dial, 88.9 on your FM dial. We've got about 24 minutes after the hour, 3 o'clock. I've got to leave soon, but got some music we're going to play in the meantime. I want to remind you, coming up quick, April 30th, we've got the second annual Amelia Earhart Memorial Kite Flying Contest.
Peggy, you're a senior in high school now. What high school?
Academy of Our Lady.
In Chicago.
Right.
And you're taking, this year, you're taking English. Is that right? Senior English, senior mathematics.
Right.
What about your mathematics?